Thank you so much for joining today. We're going to talk about your 2021 Amazon marketing plan. And this is going to be really how to maximize your product sales in the new year. The new year has begun. We're all ready to create new goals and have a fresh start. So the same thing is really true in your business. So the first thing that you need to do is set clear goals, okay? That's why we're going to be talking about this. So you have to have something in mind and a goal, okay? So think about it. What are your goals for 2021, okay? Brian Tracy has said, success is goals, all else is commentary. And I love that he said that. To see success, you're going to be making goals. You've got to do something with this. You've got to take action on these. You've got to put something on paper. That's why I hope you have a pen and paper next to you so that you're writing things down. And then even spending time, before or after, you may have already thought through some 2021 goals, but looking again at this even later on to make sure that it's written down, make sure it's somewhere that you can see it. Okay, here's a picture of a very peaceful boat, right? So there's not much happening here. It's just staying where it was. This could definitely be you this year, right? For your brand. You could stay and keep the status quo. Everything is calm and the same as it was, right? But when you have clear goals, you're going to start getting that wind in your sails. You're going to start picking up and moving, okay, and going in the direction that you want to go to hit those goals, right? So here's some interesting things from a Harvard study, okay? So in 1979, they interviewed grads. 84% of them had no specific goals. Does that shock anyone? Like, that is staggering that they found that many people did not have any goals. And 13% did have goals, but they didn't write them down. Remember, I just told you a few minutes ago, make sure to have your pen and paper out, okay? And then 3%, only 3% had clear goals. They were written and there was plans to get those goals to happen, right? To accomplish those goals. What were the results? Okay, this is where, okay, those stats just almost are mind blowing to me that small percentage actually had those clear written goals and plans. So what were the results of that? So 13% of the class who had goals were earning on average twice as much as the 84% who had no goals at all, okay? Twice as much as those other 84%, okay? Now get this. This is as much as the 3%, the last one that I mentioned, with the written goals that we're earning on average, 10 times as much as the other 97% put together. That is crazy. Like, that is staggering. So think about that. If you're not already convinced that it's important to have clear written down goals and a plan and a pathway to get there. And what I really want to help you today is I want to help you get that pathway, those plans written down so that you can accomplish them. Okay, so here's some framework for your goal setting. Okay, you need to have written goals and plans. We've already talked about that. You saw the difference. It's one thing to have a goal in your head or a plan in your head, thinking about it. It's another to have it written down. Okay, you need to set, this at a minimum. Okay, and then beyond that, it would be even like better if you have a 1-year goal. So specifically, when, like I said, we primarily work with health and beauty brands on Amazon. So think about, what do you want your 1-year annual revenue goal on Amazon to be? I also like kind of asking the question, how much of your business do you want to have percentage-wise on Amazon? And then even looking at what is your current percentage. That's kind of helpful to know too. Then you want to set quarterly goals. Quarter one we're in right now, we're in January. A lot of times people are thinking, well, Q4 is amazing, and it is, but January is a great time for all those people that received Amazon gift cards as Christmas gifts. And now they're using them, right? So have you put everything in place to make sure people are buying your products and not your competitors? And then you want to set monthly goals as well. That'll help it break it down even more. So what do I want to accomplish this month specifically? So you must have a starting point or a stopping point at the beginning of each new year and the end of each quarter to reflect. Okay, reflection on your goals that you've set is so important. Okay, how did you do based on what you set for your goal? And what are you going to do forward? So it's always helpful to look back. Maybe you didn't hit those goals that you wanted to, or not quite. That is good to look at that, to reflect on that, and to think, okay, what can I do now moving forward? Okay, so make sure, I love just put those days on a calendar, set them aside, make sure that, you have those blocked out. Okay, so once again, what are your goals for 2021? I've already kind of briefly mentioned this, but what is your revenue target? Okay, pen and paper, if you have it right in front of you, and I hope you do, write it down. What is that target that you want to hit for your revenue on Amazon specifically for your brand? Okay, the next question, how much would that be monthly? Now, with retail, it's interesting, even online retail, obviously we do know for most products, Q4 is usually the largest month, but then break that down to what that looks like every month for you. So, whatever your goal is for the whole annual year, just divide that by 12. Okay, that's your monthly goal. Go ahead and write that down. These are things that you can work with later and make them, even more official and written down, but go ahead and just write down that monthly goal, okay? Now, the next question is, how many units sold will that require? Now, this is going to be different for every brand, depending on how many products you have in your catalog, depending on, obviously, on your price point, how many units sold will that require? And then what is your average cart value? And we're going to dig into these questions a little bit later as well, but go ahead and just write down that. Now, if you don't know, but you have a bestseller that sells for $35, and usually people only buy that product, just go ahead and maybe write down $35 to begin with, just to have an idea. Even though this is something that would be, you should know or at least learn what it is for your average cart value, referring to Amazon orders specifically. Okay. Here's an example. So let's say your revenue target for the whole year in 2021 is 600,000 in sales on Amazon only. How much is that monthly? So broken down, you divide that by 12, that's $50,000 per month on average, okay? And then let's say your average cart value, because let's say you have a few products that people usually buy together. Let's say your average cart value is usually about $75. And then how many units sold will that require? So for this one, you're going to take that monthly target of the $50,000 in sales per month, and you're going to divide that by the average cart value. And so for this example, that's going to be 667 units per month need to be sold for you to hit your monthly target for sales on Amazon. Okay. So go ahead and take a minute and make sure you have all those things written down. Even if you need to, if you're watching the replay, to pause at this video. Okay, so how many sessions will you need? So one thing you want to know is, what is your average conversion rate from your sessions to purchase? Okay, your average conversion rate. That's the unit session percentage that's found in your Amazon business reports. If that's not something that you're familiar with, make sure to get familiar with that. You want to know what your average conversion rate is. From how many people session-wise, that's like how much traffic, how many people are actually coming to that listing. If you, for one product, this is going to be a per product thing. And then how many are then actually purchasing the product as a result. Okay. And then you're going to divide your sessions, that traffic, by your conversion rate. So I'm going to give you an example again. Okay, let's say your average conversion rate is 20%, which that would be a solid conversion rate for Amazon. We've actually seen much higher, and A lot of people ask, just as a side note, what is a good conversion rate? Well, it's usually better than what it has been. You always want to be trending upward with your conversion. And we'll talk more about how to do that later. Okay, then you want to divide those sessions, target of how many target sessions you want by your conversion rate. So remember, a few slides ago, we talked about you need 667 sessions to get that monthly revenue goal. Divide that by 0.2, so the 20%. That means that you're going to need 3,335 sessions per month for that listing, or maybe it's multiple listings, but that's how many you're going to need to hit that revenue goal. Okay, so what is your goal for 2021? Look at your notes, maybe make some highlights, circle some things, and how many sessions will you need monthly to get there? And that's going to really, really help, because you can, as you reflect and you look back where you currently are, you're going to see what you need to do to get there and how far you have to go.